was that?
I'm not even joking you.
You touching me?
Yo, what is that? What is that?
All right, we're here at location. We're at the house, and we're gonna do a whole ghost investigation here. Before the investigation starts, as a ghost investigator myself, this was by far the most evidence and activity I have ever experienced during a ghost investigation. But at first glance, the house itself doesn't seem like something you'd see out of a horror movie or a creepy ghost show. We thought the same thing and didn't expect much activity. Nonetheless, to get more information about the house, we decided to interview the owners of the home, my grandparents, Karen Bushman and Jeff Bushman, to see if they had experienced any paranormal events in the house. So tell me about the relative history of the house. When was it built, and who built it?
It was built in 1967 by my father. It took a year because he was in intensive care at Parkview for 6 months of that year. And almost died, but he lived to finish the house.
You ever been creeped out? Anything weird happened that just seemed unexplainable to you? Weird feelings or like weird things you've heard?
Well, the weirdest thing that ever happened to me, this land around here, there was no houses like there is now, and I used to ride my horse along the railroad tracks, which is straight back about 1.5 miles. And my horse bucked me off because it was the meanest horse in Indiana. And I tried to cut through the woods to come back. And I kept seeing a dog running ahead of me in the snow. And I kept following the dog to try, because I didn't know my way because it was through the woods. And when I got back, I could never find any dog prints. And my dog had just died not that long ago. It's like he came to take me home.
In total, do you believe in ghosts? Do you think there are spirits that sometimes show themselves to people?
Yeah, the home my father lived in, would have been my great-great-grandfather built it in 1830 from Germany. And in the upstairs, sometimes you could hear him walking around.
After hearing what my grandma had to say about the house, we decided to interview my grandpa to get a better understanding of the paranormal. Have you ever had any paranormal experiences in this house? Anything weird you can't explain? Something that happened that you kind of brushed off, you didn't really know what it was, but you just couldn't explain it, so you just kind of left it go?
Actually, no. There has been nothing occurred to me in this house that I cannot explain. There's a lot of noises with it, but there's noises with any home because wood-constructed homes expand, contract, change with temperature, and of course that creates some sounds. So no, there's been no unusual sounds, anything I can't explain or anything that I would associate with supernatural or paranormal activity.
If we were to say do this tonight and something was to happen and as on camera and everything was unexplainable, would you maybe find a different way, or would you still think maybe that it's still not true?
Well, what you're describing is, suppose we had one of these etherical entities suddenly appear and sit down beside me and try and carry on a conversation. Would I accept that on surface? Well, I'll accept physical activity that I can observe or test or relate to, but the likelihood of that event occurring is almost nil. I'm open to physical facts. I'm open to testable activity or phenomenon. Things that could be recreated. Things that an independent researcher said, well, this happens in this way, and I've observed this. And so another independent observer could do the same thing and get the same results. Repeatability in a laboratory is basically what we're looking at.
In our investigation, we investigate 3 of the main rooms: the cellar, the living room, and Andy's room. The cellar, otherwise known as the basement, holds dark entities that move with the shadows. People have reported seeing a dark shadow moving around not only in the basement, but in the living room as well. The origin of this entity is unknown. The living room isn't home to any dark entities or spirits, but instead known for the voices that can sometimes be heard. I myself have heard voices in this room, so who's to say they won't speak again? Finally, Andy's room. Andy's room is one of the more infamous rooms of the house. The room holds 2 dolls, Raggedy Ann and Raggedy Andy, dolls from the 1950s and 60s, or can otherwise be associated with the real-life Annabelle doll. Both dolls are the same brand as what the real-life Annabelle doll was made from. These dolls are reported to move without being touched, create heavy uneasiness, and carry spirits with them. Even with all this, the house still seemed unpromising. The owners hadn't experienced much ghost activity. There was nothing prior to prompt a ghost presence. The house seemed almost empty. It seemed normal. So, we got our equipment together, and as we set up, we weren't too optimistic. Finally, in the freezing cold, we entered the Kraft family house. Alright, we're here at location. We're at the house, and we're gonna do a whole ghost investigation here. We're gonna go through every room, see what we can find, hopefully capture evidence of the paranormal.
Starting with the cellar.
Starting with the cellar. This is the basement.
I'm putting this on dim.
The house. I think we should just start with, let's just find a place to sit and just see if we can talk to something. Is there anybody in here? If there is, make yourself known. Make a noise, tap something, knock on something.
What was that? Do you guys hear that?
Yeah. If you're related to this house in any way, tap once.
That was two different. You know.
That was so clear though. Like,
That was really clear, yeah.
that was you. Thanks. Ooh. Don't know what I just saw, but I thought I saw something move over there. I think it's just my eyes.
That was me.
No, like over there.
Oh.
After hearing what seemed like intelligent responses to our questions, we decided it would be best to move to the living room. In the living room, we had 3 stagnant cameras that were recording during our entire investigation. While capturing very little activity, they did catch one of the scariest events in our investigation.
The lights are off. I mean, our lights are not off.
Let's go this way. Let's go this way, guys. Come on. Turn off your light.
All right.
I wanna check in here real quick. So we heard tapping upstairs.
Just as Michael is giving the overview of the basement, a small voice can be heard that almost sounds like laughter. Who or what this voice was is unknown. After Alan reportedly saw the black shadow leave the living room, we decided to record an EVP session in the living room. For those who don't know, EVP stands for Electronic Voice Phenomena. Alright, I just set a little device down. It's this little device right here. It's small, it's this little red dot. It's used to pick up voices. All you gotta do is just walk up to it and say your name, say who you are, say anything, say hello. We just want to hear you. So if you can't, go ahead and talk into it. If you can, tell us your name. Who are you?
If you're a ghost here, did you make a little noise over in this corner somewhere? Maybe touched a seashell? Can you let us know? Can you touch it again?
Whoa! Ooh!
What?
I just heard a voice, I swear! Myself, our cameras, and our EVP recorder catch a clear, unintelligible voice. No one else in the room was saying anything at this moment. No cars were driving by. Everything was silent. As of now, this voice remains unexplained. Finally, we reach the final part of our investigation, Andy's room. My grandparents have expressed to me that they rarely enter this room, only a couple times to change the sheets. Before this recording, no one had been in this room for 3 weeks. As we go in, you may notice that none of us touch the bed. This will be important later on in the investigation. So this is what I'm going to call Andy's room. No one actually named Andy lived in here. It's just what we call the dolls. This is by far the room that makes me feel the most uncomfortable, the most nervous to be around as I'm shaking. I heard something in there. I swear to you, just heard something move. No, like sound like bed shuffling. So we're gonna go in here. We'll find what we can. And here we go.
Yep.
Here we are. Oh.
Oh, those are big dogs.
Oh, God.
Come on in.
That's almost 10 times worse than I thought.
Very cold in here, first notice.
Yeah, it is very cold. There's a huge temperature drop.
Does this area
Nobody
even
touched this.
get heated?
Because maybe if someone touches it or something does, we can.
I'm just trying to get film footage.
Man, I do not feel good in this room.
Oh, here, okay.
It is 63 right now.
Let's all sit
Feels
down
cold,
somewhere.
and I don't like that closet.
Here, can I
I
ask?
ask if it's touching my back.
Do you feel something cold on
Like
your
it on my back, it's just cold. Or it was. I don't know.
back? Are you touching Robert's back?
Yeah. You touching me? You probably know my name. You're a ghost. Spirit, ghost. I don't, it's the same either one. Did you make a noise or say something into the device over there? Maybe a one tap if you're touching me?
If you can, there's a blanket on the bed. It can, it ceases prints on it. If you can, put your hand on there. Rub your hand on there. Rub your face on there. Sit on it. Do something. Use this blanket. Sit on it.
Were you making the bed in here before we came in? Did you think we were your parents? And you needed to finish your chores?
Do you think that these decorations might be a bit tacky? So,
I felt something
I
poke
could.
my back. Oh, okay, I'm getting pricklies all down the back.
Are you poking Robert's back right now? Can you poke the bed?
Can you not poke me anymore? It kind of hurts.
Are you scratching him?
No, it's like a jab, but very tiny.
Do you want our attention? You've got it.
are you humbled by your demise? I say demise as a bad thing, but are you humbled by your passing? Place a hand on the bed if that's a yes.
You can probably turn the light on now.
No, I saw like, it almost looked like that pot shifted. And I thought it was turning like the nozzle towards the moon.
Hold on.
Yeah, let's check the bed. Check the bed.
Wait.
No way.
Wait, no.
What is that?
Yo, what is
Yo,
that? What is that?
That!
Looks like a hand.
No, look at this!
Oh!
Holy.
Let me see it. Let me see it.
Yeah, hey,
I thought.
Waiting for us on the bed was a full 5-fingered right handprint. If you noticed, no one put their hands on the bed, as I clearly stated not to, for this exact reason. Even if the handprint was there before we entered the room, could this be the noise I heard before going into the room? I heard something in there. I swear to you, just heard something move. And even if it wasn't that, my grandparents have explained to me that they never enter this room. And if this was one of their hands, why was it a right handprint? Could this be a spirit communicating to us that they are humbled by their demise as previously asked by Michael?
I say demise as a bad thing, but are you humbled by your passing? Place a hand on the bed if that's a yes.
As of now, this handprint and what it means remain completely unexplained. While looking unpromising on the outside, the Kraft family house held deep entities within its walls. Shadow figures and voices from the unknown showed themselves to us that night. And while our investigation ends, the spirits will remain. The investigation left a heavy impact on us all. The skeptics became the concerned.
I have been skeptical this whole time. I thought it was not real. I thought I felt something over there. And then lo and behold, I don't remember that.
The believers became terrified.
Not that way.
I was sitting right there and I heard, like right behind me, like clear as day.
You heard what?
I couldn't hear what it said, but it was someone talking. It sounded like someone saying, really quick, oh my God.
And the spirits became alive.